This is an Iwegbus production.
Period. What's up, y'all?
What's good, family?
My name is TK.
And my name is Nnamdi.
And we are the Iwegbus. Listen, here we motivate kingdom living in all aspects of life.
Yes.
While encouraging you to continuously, that's a tongue twister, continuously strive to be all that God has called you to be. I think that's what we represent.
Yes.
We build community, amen, in Jesus' name. And listen, if you connect with that, we need you to do something that's free. It's free.
It's free, y'all.
Go ahead and like the video.
Please do that.
Go ahead and like it.
Please.
And then if you feeling a little saucy, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell. We just need you to be tapped.
Yeah.
And now it's going to sound a little crazy, but Happy New Year.
Happy New Year in mid-January.
Mid-January, yes. This is our first episode of the year. And I believe in this episode, you will understand why, kind of get the backdrop on why we've been a little quiet.
Yes.
But before we even get into that, if you guys have been following us, if you've already been tapped in, if this is not your first time, we have some good news. Well, actually for everyone, baby, you want to tell them what we done did?
Yes. So now, instead of just always looking at our, beautiful faces and all, you can actually now access this wherever you listen to your podcast. So if it's Spotify or
hold on, take it back. What are we now?
We are now on platforms for podcasts. Okay,
yes, ma'am.
All of that down. So we are on that. So y'all can tune in wherever y'all like to, wherever you get your podcast at or whatever. You can do that. So make sure you tap with us on all of those platforms. You can just put us in the car if you don't want to get the ads, if you're getting those or whatever. Just come on and put us on your Spotify or your Apple Music, or I guess your Apple Podcast, and you'll be able to listen to our voices.
Yeah, I feel like that's the new wave. Like everybody, I would. You could have never told me I would listen to people for hours talking, and I do.
Nah, that's what I mean.
You could have never told me that I would do that.
Like we listen to more podcasts
than music.
You
do.
Definitely.
Music is still pretty heavy in my life.
Definitely.
Nnamdi be wanting, look, Nnamdi be driving, date night, anything, podcast. I'm like, sir, if you don't if you don't put on something sexy.
Listen, this year, some people, God is telling some of y'all to turn y'all's car, into a library, Like y'all need to insert something else. You didn't insert it all the little babies, the babies and the all the other guys out there who whatever. I don't know the rappers, all of them, but y'all didn't insert it all of them. It's time to flip the switch. If you want to do something different, if you want to change your life, you're gonna have to insert something different. Because then something different will come up out of you. So again, insert something different. I say, hey, turn your car into a library.
So we wanted to start with the low, so we can end on a high. Yeah. And I guess, babe, I'll let you start off with that.
Yeah.
Because we had a pretty drastic, would you say traumatic?
Yeah. I mean, it was
disheartening.
Yeah, disheartening.
Disheartening low.
Yeah, big time low.
Of
all lows. So for those who don't know, one of probably part of the reason too, why I've been away, November 28th, I lost my mother, my dear mother. And my mother had been battling for years with cancer, and she was a fighter. I mean, I'm talking about all the way. I was there with her. Her last weeks, she had even flown out to Houston to the top cancer center to just see if there was any last thing they could do. And she didn't really tell us that was like, she was kind of in those last stages really until like her last 2 to 3 weeks or so. And so if for those who know my mama, if anybody knows Sharon Dixon, let me tell you, Sharon Denise, she's a fighter. She's very strong, the strongest woman that I've ever known.
Yeah.
And I was blessed to be raised by her. My mother worked doubles, never seen her complain, always good. I mean, I barely seen her in pain. I barely seen her cry much. Like my mother was a superwoman in many different ways. We had our ups and downs, but overall, man, I mean, the best. And she was, of all things that was really great about her, she was the best grandmother. And so super low.
Yeah.
We still have our aha moments, and so I'll go into a little bit more depth on some things at that time. But really, hurt. If anyone who has lost a parent, who's lost somebody so close, I mean, when I got that, I won't never forget the knock on the door that my cousin Quincy came to tell me they was trying to call me from the hospice center, and they couldn't get me. And so when he came to tell me, I won't ever forget that. I won't ever forget how hard I cried. That time, I got up from crying. I walked and I went to the hospice place and seen her, and her body lay, there in the bed. And I had been with her hours before that anyway, and I already knew that it was coming pretty soon. But overall, I won't forget that I walked out of there and it was like this gaping hole in me. I was a shell of myself, almost like I really wasn't there at all. And so, those who have lost someone, you probably know, but that hurt me so deep. And sometimes, I'm good and sometimes I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm really not. I've had to. I remember we had the services and we came back. Y'all came back first, and then I ended up driving back here. And I think it didn't really. I thought that maybe for some reason, this is my naive mind. Y'all probably like, what did you think? But when I thought after I had the homegoing service, all those things, got her stuff out of her old place. I just felt like I thought that I'd be a little better. When I got here, it hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I remember coming in, my wife, she had made this big Nigerian feast for me and all of that. We ate and forgive me, babe, but I remember her talking to me and I didn't hear nothing.
I don't know why you're asking for forgiveness. I knew that.
Yeah. I was just like,
I knew that.
Like it hit me.
Yeah.
And I was trying not to cry in front of my kids.
Yeah, I remember.
And so I think I got up, I went to take out the trash, and I came in and I told her I need a moment.
Yeah.
And I bawled like no other.
Yeah.
I went upstairs, locked myself away in the closet, and I called my auntie, Michelle, and my cousin Kiana, because I just needed someone. And though my wife definitely was trying to be there for me, I felt like I didn't think nothing. Like I just thought this is it. I don't know I can't move on. Mm-hmm. I thought I felt sadness. Like this ain't the first person I lost. Right. I cried hard. I mean, I lost some of my brothers, friends. Jeff and Chaz, and lost my grandma way back. I've grieved before, but this is different.
Yeah.
And so I called them and thank God for them. They spoke me through, helped me through it because they obviously lost their parents. Too, so it really helped me out and gave me some tips and all. But yeah, from there, just it's been a hard time. I moved forward, working, staying busy kind of helps me. Yeah. And this helps me. This helps me to be able to talk about this, man. So first off, I want to say thank you to every person who has reached out with a call or a text, or you just put something on my timeline. On my, commented when I put up the post about her passing, man, every single last one of those messages, those calls help. Yeah. Let me tell you, you do not know. Sometimes when someone has just called me or text me, I had just got through bawling my eyes out. Yeah. She don't even know sometimes because I don't want, I just try to go away. Sometimes I'll do it in front of her and she's there for me. But yeah, so either way, that is the extreme low of all lows. Yeah. I still ask for your prayers throughout this because it's not something that you get over. It's only something that you can get through. Mm-hmm. And I'm taking it day by day. And so I'll miss my mother. Mm-hmm. And I'll do this in memory of her. Yeah. Sharon Denise. I'm Sharon Denise's son. And I'm her legacy. I continue to move on with her name attached to me. So, but babe, just to kind of pivot, you have been here.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. Holy Spirit got me right now. Yeah. But you've been here through that. So what has it been as a wife?
I'm about to cry.
Been there. Hey, it's okay. No, I ain't got no tissue, babe. So you can't pack. But
so I can't cry.
What has it been like as a wife of someone who's grieving a loss of a parent. Like, you've been there, I lost homies, and you see me sad, but
definitely.
This is a
very
whole.
sad over them. Yeah,
I was very sad over them.
Yeah.
I take, like, I don't know. Even when I hear about other people like losing people,
yeah. You take it hard.
I take it hard. Like,
well, what was it, Kobe?
who? Yeah, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah,
oh,
like,
definitely.
Yeah, you took that. I was like,
Definitely.
this man knows
I
him.
just like it's like what I think what Charlamagne be saying. It's a glitch in the matrix. Like, I literally thought that. Like, it's when even my mother passed, I thought it was a glitch in the matrix. Like, I still feel like that.
Yeah.
But like, I thought that was, and so I take that on. Even as like some of my friends, or I'll talk to clients, and to hear a wife who's now a widow, who lost her husband, who don't know how. Like, I don't know how to do my insurance. That my husband, he took care of all of this, and now he's, like, I have to sometimes hold back tears.
Yeah.
And the Bible speaks about that. Like, we're supposed to mourn with those who go through losses. And so I stopped feeling bad. Like, I'm like, why do I feel? I don't even know this person, but I want to cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get emotional. Yeah. Hey, it is what it is. Beautiful thing. So either way, babe, you've been here. So tell me, what has your experience been throughout this, and maybe what could you give as advice to someone who's, when they're dealing with a husband or a wife or somebody that's grieving?
Yeah, it was painful because even the last, 2 weeks, we were apart. So, Nnamdi was...
That's 2 weeks before my mother passed.
Yes, before his mom passed. We were apart. So I wasn't even really able to physically be there with him. So that was a difficult time for sure. But even after it happened, you took it so well. It was like, I don't know. I was waiting for like that moment as well. Like, obviously at the service, it was definitely difficult. But in the beginning, I was like, this is different. Like, maybe it won't be. Maybe it won't be as bad as I'm thinking it is. But I've seen probably every side, from distance to anger to sadness to quietness to normal, like just every aspect. And I honestly think that it has kind of peeled back like even another layer to our marriage, to know like we really in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a parent that's gone, and even having to tell the kids. And I think the biggest thing for me has been asking God for discernment in every moment, like knowing, do you need me? Do you need me to hold you? Or do you need the distance? Do you need me to talk with you? Is this a moment where we go over memories? Can I joke about your mom in this moment? Because his mama did a lot of crazy stuff.
Mama was, the reason why, my mama kept it real. My mama kept it 1,000.
Look, she did a lot
no
of
filter.
memorable things.
Yeah, so if you ever see me kind of no filter-ish or something, like he a little country with it, or he kind of like, I don't mean no harm. I'm sharing Denise's son.
Yeah, period. But yeah, I didn't, just asking for discernment. I think if you are married to someone that lost a parent, or someone close that they really truly love, is asking for discernment. That's going to be your best thing, to be able to discern a moment and what is needed without them even telling. Like, of course, we can't read minds, but discernment is real, real. Like, even in moments where like he said something that might have annoyed me, and like, I think it just happened actually. And I'm like, that's not even what he's mad about. It's his mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be about something completely different. And like, my spirit will be like, don't get mad at that. Like, just walk away. He's tripping because he's grieving, So discernment, that would be the biggest thing I would say pray for. But I think going through this process together, because I grieve, from honestly my daughters. Thank God they are kind of young to a point where they're not super duper like broken about it, but still me knowing like, dang, like, because that was their most active grandparent.
Every day,
all the time, every day
she was
FaceTiming
with them. And when we were in KC, she was like, if we need to go have a date, it
don't matter.
Oh, okay.
It don't matter. I had a nail appointment. I had a hair appointment. I just needed to go somewhere alone. She's there. Like, she was pulling up. She's bringing paint, stuff from Dollar Tree, got the food. Like, a real grandmother, and her presence, is missed for sure.
Very.
So yeah, overall, I would just say, as far as encouragement though, just ask for discernment, because they're not gonna always communicate to you what they need.
Yeah, not like every single day, someone who loses a parent thinks about them, or they lose somebody that close. God forbid it's a child or something like that, right? Like it's. I mean, I talked to my dad, and I believe my daddy lost his father when I think my grandpa was only in his 40s when he passed away.
Ooh.
Yeah, so my dad was pretty young. I think he might have been maybe 20 or maybe in teens. I don't know. But he said to this day,
he still,
mind you, my dad's in his 70s. To this day, he said he thinks about him every single day. And there has not been a day that I have not thought about my mom. Like literally every single day. Seems like every hour. I don't sleep well, but thank God I've seen her in my dreams sometime, and I don't even dream. I'm not one who have many dreams at all. And I prayed to God. My wife told me, "Hey, pray about having dreams," because I was like, "Man, I just want to see her. I just want to talk to her. I just need to." And there within a few days after praying, I had dreams about my mom, and so. Yeah, every day.
So beautiful.
I'm so glad to just see her in a dream. So again, it's a tough time. That has to be the loss of last year, the greatest loss of my life. But she will live on.
Amen.
Through myself and through my daughters. And we'll continue to do what she want us to do. And she will want us to do this right here. Yeah. She will want me to, like, boy, you better pick up your head and stop. Don't be sitting around there all moping up, crying and stuff. Yes. I lived. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? My mother would be like that. Yeah. She would tell me, like, I lived. Yeah. Y'all better, go ahead and do what y'all need to do. Y'all make sure y'all take care of my pretties. That's her granddaughters. And so, hey, that's what we're here to do. And so, that's the loss of it. I wanted to get that out of the way there. But again, keep us in prayer on that. Yes. So pivoting now and uplifting and doing it in my mother's spirit, and she would want us to do it with joy and happiness.
Amen.
The next highs?
What is the 2020? What was our high for 2020? And we both
2022, baby.
2022.
Please don't bring back 2020.
Oh my God.
Nobody wants 2020.
Tragic.
Don't even speak of 2020.
Y'all remember they was like, never mind.
Leave it where it was at.
Huh?
Remember they had that it was a commercial. I can't remember what it was. It's like, I don't know. I can't remember what it was.
I want to laugh.
It was a 2020 commercial. It was funny. Like when it turned like 2021 or something. But I can't remember all the way.
Well, we both agreed on what it was, 2022, the high of it. And that was, of course, moving to Atlanta.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big time high.
Yeah, big time high. Yeah. For many reasons. For me, music. I am a Christian hip hop artist, and so I knew moving here I would be in the right environments, the right company, the right network system, and just even to be motivated by hard workers as well. Go ahead and drink it, babe.
Yeah.
Why you just look back at it? I had to put more in mine. I poured more.
It's a little sticky, but
it is. I put too much honey on the rim.
I don't like stuff on my hands.
I know. Nnamdi is such a pretty boy. Like when y'all look at us, people be thinking that I be the one in the shower in the mirror forever. That is Buddy, sir.
No,
baby, keep it.
Listen here.
Remember what we said we represent? Transparency.
Listen,
Nnamdi be in the mirror, y'all. God bless him.
Don't listen. Whoever that is judging me, okay, I don't care. I'm sharing Denise's son.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be your thing?
Yes. Sharing Denise's son. Straight up.
But yeah, moving to Atlanta definitely was a high for me, obviously from music. But I remember just so many times, I mean, of course you probably remember, like I would tell you, like, baby, if I live somewhere else, I would wear this type of stuff.
Yeah.
If I live somewhere else, I would try these hairstyles. Yeah. I remember I tried red hair for the first time during the pandemic because I knew nobody would see me. And so I always felt like, you know, we come from Kansas City is a small place. I'll keep it at that. And so I didn't feel comfortable. Like I already had blonde hair and that stood out. And I'm like, red, you know, that's going to be crazy. And so even knowing that I was going to meet my full free self here. Like I knew it. I'm like, once I get there, baby, it's foot to the pedal. But just meeting my full self, I knew that would happen. I just remember so many moments of just, I was depressed. I was so sad before moving to Atlanta. Like, especially the last year, like so many things happened. Like so many like big moments. Like I remember one of the talks that we had on the porch. You remember that?
Ooh.
How you automatically know? I feel like I came so graceful. Like I literally sat you down. Did I pour you a glass of wine?
I don't know, but
I think I did, and it was a nice summer day, and I was like, "Hey, baby, how do you think this year is going?" Like I thought it was smooth. It wasn't.
Man, that mug was demanding.
It was demanding. I asked you one question.
It was demanding. I
asked you.
Yeah, you did, and it was a good question that made me have to answer honestly.
Yeah. So many things that happened. I think we've talked about it before. Like one of my just saddest periods was belonging in a place that I just did not feel loved. I did not feel accepted. I felt there was no progress. Definitely not fast enough. Like maybe it would have happened in the next 5 years of like community building, and all of that. And so, within that same kind of time that we decided to move was the time where I was like, it's time to go. Like it's time to leave these places, leave these relationships. If it is toxic, draining, we ran over our time, whatever it is. And I just remember up until that moment of us deciding to not only leave our church home, but leaving the city. Yeah. Because before those two decisions, I saw myself dying. Yeah. Like every part of me, my boldness, the love, like it started getting to the place where I'm like, shoot, I'm gonna walk in and I speak too. Yeah. I'm gonna walk in and I do this too. And it's like, that's not even me, you know? And so being so depressed for so long and in certain situations, moving to Atlanta was literally like a cocaine high. Like the first time you know what I'm saying, do something phenomenal, the adrenaline rush, like all the things, it wasn't a perfect process, but just like once we got here, like your cousin said, just get here. You know, it was like once I got here, I was like, oh baby, it's a wrap. Yep. Like all things, my perspective shifted, my work ethic, the ideas, my creativity, like community. If y'all don't follow me on social media, I talked about that. Like, man, I'm talking about community, like real women attracted to me. Like I was in a place where I was like, I just told you this the other day, like, dang, I'm like, why can't I make friends here? I make friends. Nnamdi will be on the phone. Like, I remember one time I was getting my nails done, and it was this little chick, and she was like just talking to me. We just first time ever getting my nails done. She was like, yeah, you can come to the club with us whenever you want. You know, like everywhere I go, Starbucks, anywhere, I attract people. But in this one place, in this one spot, I could not make a close friend. And it took over me, and I allowed it to become my identity. I allowed that place to become my identity. And so getting out of that and coming here, it reminded me like, oh, you're a phenomenal woman. Like you are beautiful inside. Yeah.
And in all full disclosure, like in that place, when you spoke to me, well, first off, I already felt that timer was up. Didn't like necessarily how you might have brought it a little bit, but I already knew that timer was up. But you know, I looked at it and I was like, man, I was being selfish, and I knew it because it was something that just was more for me, and it was time. It was time to basically grow up. It's time to go to the you gotta go. It's time to close that chapter.
And I just want to be very clear. We are talking about leaving our church.
Yeah.
Just to be very
Yeah,
clear.
our old church.
Leaving our old church in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Just to make that clear. Because
Yeah.
they feel like what are y'all talking about? What leaving what?
So
leaving that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Again, not necessarily a bad place or anything like it was just us.
Yeah.
It was even when I had my talk with my pastor at that time, because I called him and formally told him, let him know like, hey, this is what's going to be happening, and it was just really things that just wasn't the right fit for us.
Yeah.
And so we had to make that move, and I knew that it was my time to it was the time to let my wife fully blossom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you did your thing. Like, now you need to do the unselfish thing. You need to let her, like, honor her in that way.
Yeah.
Love her in that way. I had, other mentors who had really been kind of knocking on my
can I ask you a
head.
question?
Yeah.
So, because when you say you felt like it was time for me to blossom, in that time, did you know that I was like basically gonna be stagnant there? Like nothing was gonna happen?
I had hope, but
yeah, me too.
I had hope.
Yeah,
I thought that maybe something, but
and
at the same, but really, to be honest with you, it wasn't just you. It was me too. That was just like, all right, like it was like, listen, what was back then for me, you know what I'm saying? Because that was like my family. That's where I basically grew. That's over.
Yeah.
That's no more.
That was a grieving process for you too.
Yeah, that was a big time grieving process. Well, that's a whole nother thing we don't want to go into. Yes. But that's over. You can't revive it.
Yeah.
Whatever certain relationship that's not gonna be the same anymore. Yeah. It just is what it is. And not saying it's their fault or nobody's fault at all. It's just, hey, it's what God was trying to do.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, cool. It's time to move on.
Yes.
And what a, perfect timing for things like, I'm glad, like when I look back, I'm like, I'm glad you made that. Like you asked me that question because it made me think. And I was
shout out to Kiana.
My sister, Kiana Jones. Kiana Jones. Shout out to Mark and Kiana Jones. Love them.
What are y'all?
Yeah.
Love her for that.
Yeah, for real. She always keep it 100. Kiana, we can go. I can tell what she got right. We can pull up right now.
I can fly down to y'all right now and pull up. Don't play with me.
She don't. Hey, Kiana's something
else.
She
don't play. It's so funny. Shout out to her. But that was my high. Like I said, I think we can go into depth in a whole nother episode with that. But I dealt with so much depression attached to that season, and moving here was like I was like, I can be vulnerable. I can relax. Mm-hmm. I can be loved. I can be comforted. If I do show my true self, it's not like, oh, there we go. There's something to not like about you. You already didn't like me, but now you find something. Like, no, it was like, and the women, I'm sorry I'm going so long on this, but the women that I've even attracted here, just mind blowing on how it feels like I've been knowing them forever. Like, watching the kids, like just shout out to all of y'all. Like loving people, very authentic, very raw, and just ready to love me. Like, oh my gosh, we'll do anything. I can
Before you got here, I remember what really hit me was when we was here to pick out where we were gonna live, and y'all had the female cipher. Yeah. And I think it was Leah. Okay. Oh. Day and Leah, and I think Aaliyah was like almost about to cry. Like, girl, like really, are you gonna really like actually move?
She's like, are you coming back?
Like, are you coming? When she was doing that, I ain't gonna lie, I don't even because it almost made me cry now to get emotional. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm emotional, brother. But when she did that, I was like, that's just the love that my wife's been seeking for so long. Yeah. And so when I thought of, like, I was like, when she said that, I was just like, I had to kind of like, I was about to get choked up.
I thought we did cry. I ain't gonna lie.
We did. I think we shed a few tears over that.
Shout out to you, Aaliyah.
Because I just know
the Lord. And I told her this. I was like, I'm pretty sure I told her very clearly. I'm like, you give me hope for sisterhood. Mm-hmm. She knew me for one day, literally. Like, we were talking about it. No, we were talking
weekend.
I mean, weekend. Like, we spent the weekend together, but we were talking about it, and people, and still to this day, people like. Well, let me go back to that. That day at the awards show, we were glued to each other's hip.
Yeah.
Everywhere I went, she went. Everywhere she went, I went. And like just our spirit, like we just connected with each other to the point where people was like, y'all been. So we went to a video shoot, and Portia was like, "This y'all first time hanging out?" And we were like, "Girl, nah." She was like, Y'all keep doing this. I like this. Like just our vibe together. Yeah. We were at the studio and somebody else was like, I like you for her. Her pastor was like, I like her for you. Yeah. Like people seeing and Aaliyah's a real one, like for sure. But just seeing how quickly like God immediately came in and like, and now I'm about to uproot all those lies, that you let sit in your spirit. Yeah. And how the Lord has just
so much love.
So I just love, like, it's just, love. I'm surrounded by love. On so many, from the praise team, like, what? Yeah. What?
Shout out to 2819 Church. What up? What up?
It's crazy.
Definitely.
But that was my high.
That's, yeah. I guess that's both our high, but really, for me, the move, like, sometimes it felt unreal. I mean, if you over, you about 30 something years old, you've been at a certain place. It was just like, this is all I know. Like, this is all I know. And like this, like, can I really see myself making this move?
Yeah.
Like, so sometimes it was like, yeah, we wrote it out. Yeah, but is this really going to happen? Like, this is really going to happen. I'm like, and as we got closer, I'm like, and don't get it wrong, I was making it happen. So don't have no doubt about it, but I'm just like, wow. And yeah, I just think that when I actually made the move, I'm like, man, I'm actually here. Like, because I love the city.
Georgia tags.
We were
like,
wow.
Yeah. Like everything was wild to us. Everything was so deep. Like, got the house. Wow. Yeah. Look in the backyard. Wow. Got the tags.
I mean, it was just like the other day, I was driving to the barber, and I was passing the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and I'm like, if the Chiefs and Bills win, they gonna play the AFC game there or whatever. I'm just like, dang, this Mercedes-Benz Stadium right here. I don't have to book a ticket. One of the great things and one of the big things for me and why I wanted to be here is because God's doing some new things with me, and there's some different conferences and all those things that I want to be involved in. It's a certain community that I'm a part of. Shout out to the morning meetup. And so I wanted to be closer to those things there. Yeah. And so one of the things is like, for instance,
studio's here, isn't it?
Yeah. Shout out to Shan's and the whole morning meetup community, man. This is amazing. But I saw a flyer. It was E.T. like coming this weekend, like Eric Thomas. Like I've listened to Eric Thomas for years, and I could actually go. Like I don't have to book a flight, get a whole. Like I'm there.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in KC, people don't come that frequently like that. Nah. They don't come. You're going to have to go somewhere a little bit closer to there. Drive to Dallas, drive to Houston. Yeah. And, maybe some things have changed there. But, again, that's what it was. And so I was just like, man, I was excited about just new.
Yes.
Being somewhere new.
Yes.
Embracing the nervousness and the being the new kid on the block when it comes to a church. Like, nobody know me. Like, that was because we thought that was going to take us over a year. And if you see some of our old videos, like, we thought that was going to take over a year, and it only took a few months.
Yeah.
And, in my mind back then, I know it's kind of crazy, I didn't think anything could be as dope as what I had been at before.
That's crazy.
I really didn't. But I ain't gonna lie, I knew the possibility.
On the level of dopeness?
Yeah, the level of dopeness, like firework, worship, all of that. Like, I like those two things.
I was gonna say, because my main goal is community.
Yeah, no.
And I was willing to take an L on one of those for community.
That's what we was about. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like we was about right, like not an L, but like it wasn't what we was like. Like, just so y'all know what we in, so we don't do no insiders. Like, we had visited church before.
We was about to take an L.
Yeah, and and don't get it wrong, like it was a cool church, but we knew in one side of it, it just didn't fit us. Like the way, certain people, you like certain preaching.
Yeah, I mean,
and the teaching just wasn't necessarily for us. Like, the worship was.
Yeah, worship was fire.
Wow.
I was gonna say, like, everybody don't preach. Like, everybody's not for everybody. So
Yeah.
somebody likes a very calm speaker,
Yeah.
while other ones need you to be like, get up, this is your year. Like, you need different things. And so we were
Pastor Philip is.
Yeah, that's Pastor Philip.
Play
for
my
sure.
God like a sucker.
Yeah,
you're
you're
like, whoa,
dang.
hold on, man.
Okay. We don't need to get in the gym.
Right.
Look, Pastor Phil make you like,
Hey, he be
let
in.
me
I'm like,
work
okay,
out today.
let me get
Like,
all
I
my
need to go
stuff,
to
man.
the-
So yeah, man.
What do you eat? But
Good people,
I'm sorry,
man.
babe. Yeah, but
Yeah.
no, we were gonna take. And when we say L, just meaning like everybody wants that perfect church, right?
Yeah, that's
so
for
you
you.
want worship, you want word, and you. I mean, I hope everybody wants community, and we knew. We kind of came in mind like community over everything, because I feel like we chose dopeness of the word and worship.
That's why
over
we were
community.
where we at for so
That's why
long.
we were where we were. But this time it was like, nah, we need love. So if the word ain't or the worship ain't but we ended up getting all of it.
And really, and typically we're into charismatic teaching, as far as the pastors, the communicator. But this time I didn't need that no more. Like, I didn't need you to make me laugh or anything like that. I needed like the meat. I needed like, okay, help me see that in the context of that, and okay, wow, like just like this past Sunday, like
I was gonna
Pastor
say,
Philip,
we are so
he
under
broke
that.
man. You would have to go and see the last message from 2819 Church, man. And I mean, he broke down that Matthew 1-4.
Never heard it that way in my life.
While at the same time,
Simultaneously
teaching you. And I'm like, gosh, Lee,
Yeah.
it was cold. So either way, I knew that.
And he's serious.
Very.
It ain't like a bunch of
Oh,
jokes.
man.
It ain't a bunch of swag. He got swag. But
He got swag, but yeah, it's like, no,
it's not flashy though.
It's like, dude, I gotta, like, I've been burdened with this. I gotta, like, the Lord is, I'm doing this out of, like, submission to Him. Like, it's not about me being dope
fun, like,
to y'all.
just a real dope.
Yeah, like
I'm trying to be the next pop star.
Right, no,
Yeah.
none of that. It's like, I ain't even trying the fit. I ain't trying to do all that. Like, I'm trying.
Fresh,
I gotta
but,
get.
you
Yeah,
know,
be fresh, but I can't.
Y'all know how you got the pastors that's
Yeah.
like gold chains, leather jackets, ripped up jeans,
Yeezys.
$7,500 you know, like this crazy stuff. Now he gonna have some fresh kicks
Right.
on and a cool little black outfit.
Right.
You be like,
Right.
I like that.
So overall,
I like
like,
that.
I think that was a big thing to me, and so we kind of lost my spot there. But overall,
I'm sorry, that's my fault.
No, it's okay. I'll do that sometimes. We'll do that to each other sometimes. Hey,
high.
Yeah, but overall, I did the whole church part. That was going to be a little scary situation for me, I thought.
Yeah.
And then I got caught by surprise and just was like, man, God is so intentional with this church, and so I can speak on and on about that. But just overall, the city, man.
Yes.
Like, I love Atlanta. I know it's not for everybody, Black Hollywood, all that,
No,
but hey,
it's not.
it's for us. And
Yeah, when
it's
people
been.
be like, you going to that city with a marriage and this, I'm like, we're going to
Oh, you told me,
We're literally
everybody talked about
going
just
to
how
church.
it's just people be just kicking it.
Yeah,
and
they be like, when
marriages get
marriages
torn
go out
apart
there,
I'm like,
marriages fall apart. Yeah, if you go to the strip club and you be in the porn sites and your marriage gonna fall apart.
Hey,
bro.
listen,
like what?
it's not for the untamed man.
Yeah.
If you're not anchored by the word of God, if you're not anchored,
because it's a BBL walking all the time.
let me tell you, for
Let
the
him
love
tell
of
you what.
Jesus.
Oh, okay.
No, you'll tell me.
I do.
You will.
I'm like, oh my God, baby, she got her booty done.
The first time my wife ever has pointed out a woman's butt to me, was here.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
She ain't never did that. I'm like, that's when I know it's bad.
Yeah,
I know it's bad.
Huge.
It's when we was here because you was like, babe, look at that. That ain't even. That don't even go with her legs.
I'm like, look at that. That's ridiculous.
Hey, listen.
That's crazy.
They do it too. Hey, listen. If I see it, because I'm a man, I see. So I find my point. Like, okay, because this is just. I don't know.
Nnamdi is so good at that.
I don't know what they. I don't know why.
I mean, some of us look good.
African Americans should have some crazy wealth. If we would stop getting all these BBLs and as many BBLs, Benzes, and BMW I see around here. Yeah. Oh man, we got some wealth. I can just tell you where it's probably going.
Yeah, because a BBL is a cool little 10.
Right.
Get your boobs done. That's a cool little 7. You get all of it done. And then you got to fly somewhere. You paying like 20 G's for all of that.
So overall, though, like I said, that's been that. The diversity. Love seeing so many of us doing very well. You're just in close proximity of those who are doing great. So I mean, it pushes you to go to another level and not be so comfortable. Shoot,
Yes.
you'll be. Let me tell you, you'll be leaving a studio or something 11 midnight, and you'll be in a bunch of jammed up traffic. Because guess what? You ain't the only one making moves.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? So like, where you come from a place where after 9, everybody in the
Streets
house.
are dead.
Streets are dead.
You
That's
right.
always going on around here. So
Yeah.
again, biggest highlight has to be, like I said, the move to ATL. This is an Iwegbus production.
Period.